Well, we have to start with the Nittany Lions' arrival at the Rose Bowl. They show up outside the stadium and get off the bus sporting the number 34 to honor former Penn State running back Franco Harris, who passed away a few weeks ago. The Steelers Hall of Famer wore the blue and white before the black and gold, and it's a classy and appropriate gesture to don his college number 34. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski, along with our coaches, Jay Paterno and Tom Bradley. This is the season finale, guys, episode number 20. 20 straight weeks for season number 2, and what a way to finish celebrating a Rose Bowl victory.
Tom, I don't know how you guys coach in the pros and do 20 weeks because this is exhausting. I'm on fumes. But it was a great season, a really good ending. Obviously, the two games that everybody, all the Debbie Downers are going to talk about are the two losses. But some really good things, and obviously finishing up in the Rose Bowl is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. You get them extra practices. You got your guys. You won the game, and guess what? It's a nice start for this season coming up.
Strong way to finish. You got to love that bowl momentum, and you take that into the offseason, as you mentioned. We discuss an impressive journey for the Nittany Lions, describe some big splash plays that make the difference in Pasadena, and forecast a promising future in our opening drive. Very impressive journey this season for the Nittany Lions. Start the year unranked. This late touchdown at Purdue gives them a Big Ten road win in the opener, and then here you go. Penn State celebrates a convincing Rose Bowl win over the Pac-12 champs, Utah, 35-21. A long journey.
Long journey indeed, and a great way to finish it. I thought really impressive in terms of making the plays they had to. We talked last week in the scouting report about how aggressive Utah was going to be on both sides of the ball. They took advantage of it.
They sure did. And the two things on defense Utah didn't do that always beat you: big plays, missed tackles.
Yeah, absolutely. They made them pay. Sean Clifford has been part of the program for 6 of James Franklin's 9 years. Their final game together yields a very special result.
I was here in 2016, one of the better Rose Bowl games, and watched somebody else celebrate. And I wanted this for them. And I couldn't have wrote the script any better for Sean Clifford to be the offensive MVP, and my man Tig to be the defensive MVP. It's awesome.
I came up with some great leaders when Trace McSorley and Tommy Stevens and Billy Fessler in the QB room, and great leaders on that team in 2017, the group that I was a freshman with. So just being able to, see those faces of my teammates, it just means the world. Just couldn't be prouder to be a Penn Stater.
Only 5 head coaches in college football history have won the Rose Fiesta and Cotton Bowls. 2 of them are from Penn State, Joe Paterno and now Coach Franklin.
Well, part of the Nittany Lions formula has been about the big plays, explosive plays. We talked about that, Tom, and certainly they took advantage of those things in this game, and they got the third down conversions they needed, and they got the game done.
Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, when you get those kind of big explosive plays, what it does to the defense is like, oh no, so it's a big help.
And you guys have seen this before, a long run in the Rose Bowl. Ki-Jana Carter, our Impact interview guest later in the show, and then Saquon Barkley and Nick Singleton right there. We talked about the turnover. Senior safety Jair Brown grabs one of the 2 interceptions and explains how the defense locks in for the second half and shuts down the Utes offense.
I think in the second half we had to, take a look at ourselves. And, a lot of emotions happen in this game, and guys start to get out of their way of the scheme. And second half, we went in the locker room, and everybody got their jitters out, and we just played together, trusted each other a little more, and we was able to execute more on more plays.
Well, the Nittany Lions make the most of their trip to Pasadena, that's for sure. Pat the guys leaving on the back and say, thanks for your contributions, right? Then turn to the young guys and say, all right, who's ready to step up and lead?
Yeah, you could try and pull names out, but, a lot of times you don't know where that guy's coming from. And what happened last year means nothing this year. So guys have to adjust and new guys have to step up.
But it's not even sometimes you think it's the starters only, because there's guys that might not be playing in that locker room, have a lot of say and a lot of leadership that you don't even hear about.
All right, let's go to the scrap metal. Tom, our final scrap medals are all about recognition. The first one goes to a guy I work closely with and that we rely on an awful lot around here, Andrew Callista.
Look at that TV star midfield at the Rose Bowl. What you don't see is the behind-the-scenes pack rat lugging the equipment everywhere. He's been our road warrior all year. Can't thank him enough. Started with the Big Ten Media Day in Indianapolis in late July. Of course, the stop at Toomer's Corner when Penn State played Auburn. And here he is with his parents who actually got engaged at the 1975 Sugar Bowl. The journey ends in Pasadena. Huge thanks to Andrew for all of his efforts for the show. And then the other guy getting the scrap medal is Pat Romano. Pat sponsors the medal, the award itself. He's a big supporter of all Penn State programs, especially this segment. Pat is the owner of We Are In up in Phillipsburg. Great place to check out up there. The food's phenomenal. I advise you to get the Italian dishes, and I like the cherry ice too, the homemade cherry ice. And when I leave there, it's kind of funny because my tongue's all red by the time I leave the place.
Just like a kid. Appreciate the support. And still to come, our scouting report. Great blueprint, game plan, and execution leads to the Rose Bowl win. We'll show you why the big plays work and results in a New Year's Six trophy. Nittany Game Week returns after this.
Scrap Metal is sponsored by the We Are In, voted #1 game day restaurant in Center County. Follow us on Facebook and visit thewearein.com or call for dinner or room reservations.
We are back on Nittany Game Week. Now, the Nittany Lions finished the season on a tear, a 5-game winning streak with the average margin of victory 28 points. They open up a comfortable lead on Utah after the half and are able to celebrate in the final minutes in Pasadena. Coach Paterno, Coach Bradley, that's an awesome feeling to know you have the Rose Bowl won with time still on the clock. Takes a lot of work, though, to get to that point. So what did you see against the Utes that worked so well?
Well, Todd, we're going to talk about a couple things, really 5 kind of critical plays that really show how they were able to do certain things. And let's start with the third downs. Third downs were a big deal in this game for Penn State. So one of the things Penn State was doing a lot is motioning backs and motioning receivers, not big motion, but with Utah's pressure looks, when you motion, they have to expose whether they're zone or man. Here they motion the receiver out. Nobody really runs with him, so they knew there were no adjustments, showed zone coverage, and he was able to do that. So let's take a look at that, Tom, and talk about how that works for you.
Well, I tell you, it worked pretty darn good for you here. And you can see right there that the safety just didn't get over fast enough to make the play.
Yeah, they rotated the 3 deep, and he did not get over there, and that's a play that probably could have made, but Penn State got after those safeties early and often. So let's talk about some other big plays. Big run play, broke the game open, got the lead going. Utah, gonna come. We talked about all last week how aggressive they were. They came here aggressive. When he comes down, Tom, there's no safety, and if he breaks through there, and you know assignment football, 2 guys in the quarterback, nobody in the tailback, that's a problem.
Never good when 2 guys are on the QB. Especially, Sean's not going to probably go to distance on you. You got 2 on the Q, not good.
Yeah, if I'm going to take my choice, no offense, yes, Sean, I'm going to put 2 guys on the tailback and let you run for 15 yards. But worked out pretty well. So let's talk about some more stuff. One of the things I thought Utah, Tom, got a little impatient. Down 7 points, backup quarterback in the game, and they were still able to run the ball against 8 guys in the box and do it pretty effectively. And it's a 1-score game. They could have stayed with the run, but they didn't.
Here's the thing with me. This is where I thought the whole game turned around on this. After these 2 good runs, and they throw the ball, and it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, they take the sack, they get off
Sometimes
schedule.
you just have to be patient.
Yeah, no question about it. So let's take a look at the next one now. Another big play, another 80-yard play in the offense. Again, third down. Utah safety jumps the slant. We call this a slant and go. He reads the pattern reading. They took advantage of the pattern read and ran him by him, Tom. And you know that's a lonely feeling when you're a defensive coordinator.
And we call that a sluggo.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you what Penn State called it. 7 points, 2-score game. And with Cam Rising out of the game, a 2-score, it was lights out for them. And great throw, great pump fake, and it really broke the game open. And once you got the 2 scores against a team that was having trouble really getting it done, and you see that safety just gets totally turned and gone.
Great job. He sold it great. He did a great job selling it.
You got to be a good play actor and a good pump fake. And last but not least, let's talk about what happened second half. Once Cam Rising was out of the game, the pressure got home and got him down, whereas Rising was able to get out of there. This guy had low mobility as compared to Rising, and they were able to bring 6 guys play 3 deep.
Yeah, they just played the 2 under 3 deep behind it and just said, hey, we're going to take our chances and put pressure.
They stormed the castle, and they got to him a bunch in the second half, and that really closed the books on the game for them and got to the Rose Bowl championship. And a guy who always closes his rounds out, with a one putt, Todd Sadowski.
I'd like to think so. Tremendous job, guys, on the scouting report all season long. Thanks a lot. All right, we do have something special to announce in our final episode of the season. We've been asking you to vote on the best Pride picks of the year. And after an intense voting contest online at NittanyGameWeek.com, here's your winner. Earlier today, we had a chance to deliver the good news, and we want to share the big moment with our viewers. So here's the pre-recorded interview that evokes an awesome reaction.
Very, very heated competition. Over 20,000 votes cast in the finals, and this year's Pride Pick winner is Chase Patterson. Congrats on being this year's Pride Pick winner. Your picture won out over 3 other strong contenders. In a finals, as we mentioned, 20,000 votes from voters on 6 continents. Apparently nobody in Antarctica voted on this one. So now you and a guest are headed to Bermuda on a Happy Valley cruise June 15th to the 20th. How excited are you?
Very excited. Thank you. Awesome.
You so much.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun, and Todd's been on it, I'll be on it, and Tom Bradley will be on it, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
So give
Super
us your
excited.
Penn
Thank you
State
so much.
story. How did you come to be a part of the Penn State faithful?
So growing up, I was always a Penn State fan. Both of my parents were alum. I graduated class of 2005 and just born into it. So we love Penn State. Everything is Penn State. And yeah, this is a great opportunity and we're excited.
Congratulations. Well done. Boy, I tell you, you never thought it would pay off so much just having a little bit of ice cream at a football game, but there you have it. So thanks a lot. Really appreciate you watching, participating in the contest. And as Jay mentioned, you had a lot of serious competition for this.
We sure did.
Yeah, all the pictures are great. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity and we're excited.
When we come back, a former #1 overall pick that knows something about long touchdown runs in the Rose Bowl. You don't want to miss our impact interview with Ki-Jana Carter. More Nittany Game Week is coming up.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Well, welcome back. It's our final episode of the season, and we could probably say when it comes to our impact interviews, we save the best for last. And that's no offense to our previous guests, but you can't do any better than #1, as in the #1 overall NFL draft pick. Running back Ki-Jana Carter selected with the first pick in '95 by the Bengals after an All-American career for Penn State. That included the Rose Bowl championship with an undefeated 12-0 team. Ki-Jana, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. And I appreciate all those nice little kind words you gave me.
Yeah,
I don't hear
absolutely.
those a lot. I don't hear those a lot, so I appreciate that.
Hey, facts are facts. #1. This
And
is
I won't hear it from Jay or Scrap, so I appreciate you saying it.
Well, look, this is our impact interview, and we talk all the time on the program about the impact college choice has on our lives. Question is, why Penn State, and what impact has that decision had on your life?
Oh, well, I mean, why Penn State? You know, being from the Big Ten country, I wanted to be somewhat close to home so my mom can see me play in college. Because in high school, she had to work, and a lot of times she missed my Friday night games, and she made a vow that she wouldn't miss my college games. So obviously, when I was getting recruited, they made an announcement that Penn State was going to the Big Ten. So that was a plus. Number 2 was Jay's father, Joe. He had to recruit me. They had to put full court press, but obviously what the program was about was kind of like how my high school football coach was, Tony Pusateri. They were both Paisans, Italianos, but also cared about family, the kids, and just how the structure was. 3, being from Columbus, you didn't really hear about Penn State too much. Sometime on the national televised games, but back then we didn't have all the TV outlets like we do now. But I knew I had a chance to play against Notre Dame's, the Miami's, because we were independent. We played all the big schools. 4, I had some family in D.C., and it was a close drive for me to go see them if I needed to in Maryland. And then 5, I would just say the campus. When I went on the campus, it just felt like it was home. I wanted to go to a big-time college program, but I wasn't really caught up in the city schools. I think it was just too big and they were too busy. And obviously Penn State has a lot of students and it's a premier football program, but it's more of a small college environment, as you know. So those were 5 factors why I decided to go to Penn State.
John, you were part of what many consider to be among the greatest offenses of all time, not just at Penn State, but in all of college football. Obviously, it was great talent, but also what really stands out is a really unselfish attitude. How much did that camaraderie and selflessness contribute to how well the offense played that year?
No, that's a great point, Jay. I think it starts off in '91 when we got all recruited and we all signed. I remember like the first day. A lot of times, when you go the first day in the meetings, you hear about the people sign, but you don't get to meet everybody because everybody doesn't go on the same visit. So people size people up and look at them like, who's he? What did he do? It just felt like when we came in, it was a brotherhood from jump. We had the #1 class in the country, and the amazing thing was no egos. I mean, you had me, Mike Archie, Bobby, I think Scott Stratton, and Mikey, all Americans. But we went in like, hey, we're going to do this, and we want to, make a vow. We want to try to go undefeated and win the title before we left. And since that first day, there was never no egos for me. You can see some of the highlights when Mike Archie scores or Mikey Pitt scores. I'm the first one to go jump on and be happy, or Bobby scores, because I've always been a team person, no matter what level of football I've been on.
Hey, Ki-Jana, there were some pretty good fullbacks on that team too. But given the unselfish nature of that team, what lessons might that team have for a young group of talented offensive players at Penn State in 2023?
Well, I mean, that's one of the things I think if I can get back there and talk to them, because it is loaded. I mean, I think the offense did a great job, and Coach Sider did a great job because we got 2 thoroughbred running backs. I mean, we really got 4. I mean, because 24 is just as good too. So if one person has a good game versus another, obviously the receiver group, and we're all young, very talented, to have that mentality, because the overall goal is you want to play national championship game. That's the whole goal. Yes, we all are selfish and we all want to do well and see our names in the paper and see our stats and things like that. But in the end, granted, like with me, I was very blessed and lucky that, everybody knows me for a Rose Bowl run. That's a historic thing. But at the same time, everybody talks about our 94 team. That's something that's going to last a lot longer for the most part than any of the accolades.
Hang with us for a minute. We're going to step aside for the TV show to take a break. We will continue our interview with Ki-Jana Carter. So if you want to see the entire conversation with the former overall #1 pick, make sure you go to NittanyGameWeek.com for the entire interview, along with our other web-exclusive content. Still to come, Jay grabs his custom ski helmet and prepares to hit the slopes. Paterno and the Poconos. When we come back, we're heading into the final minutes on Nittany Game Week.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to spend New Year's Eve with my mom as part of the whole family get-together, because my mom was at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. As part of the Peach Bowl, they honor previous winners of the Bobby Dodd National Coach of the Year. Joe Paterno, one of only 2 guys that have won it more than once, Bill Snyder being the other. Sue went down, had a great time, was introduced, and great response from the people, even though they were Georgia fans and they probably resent that 82 national championship game.
The Southern hospitality. How can you not be nice to your mom? One of the nicest people on the planet.
And she said there was Chick-fil-A all over the place. So there was that too.
Awesome. Very, very cool. All right. Well, plenty of sports fans spend part of their holidays in the Pocono Mountains. The next few months are a great time to hit the slopes. This guy right here can do it. And in fact, he has a look at some of the opportunities you have to enjoy the snow. There are a half-dozen ski resorts in the Poconos, and we make our way to Shawnee Mountain to get Jay geared up. Helmet, boots, skis, he's ready to go. And he knows how to handle himself on the snow, but at Shawnee, inexperience is not a problem.
Here we see a lot of families, we see a lot of beginners, first-timers, so we have excellent packages that get you started through the rental shop, on the slope with a lesson, and then you're ready to go. It's everybody from our little ones who are 3 years old to our teenagers ready to hit the 2 terrain parks we have, or grandma and grandpa want to come out and ski.
Skiing, snowboarding, snow tubing. There are plenty of ways to slide down the mountains of the Poconos. And if you need to come in out of the cold, Shawnee Mountain and the surrounding area have you covered.
Hit the restaurants, we have bars, we have the entire lodge to hang out in. If you want to stay in the Poconos, there's breweries, wineries, there's hiking trails. There's so much to do in the Poconos. It's really a great place to come visit.
If you want more information on snow activities in the Poconos, make sure to visit their website, PoconoMountains.com. So it's kind of a tease. The slopes hadn't quite opened when we did the interview, and then it's been too warm and rainy the past week to get Jay on the slope. So, you know,
I've been waiting 20 weeks for this. 20 weeks.
And we want to get the video. When we get the video, because we are going to do it.
The band.
We're putting it on the band. We're putting it on the monitor. We're going to break you down.
We're going to break it down and talk about it.
Bring it on. This band isn't big enough to hold my skiing ego.
We could critique it.
That's right. That's right.
Be awesome.
It's a scouting report to be determined. All right, well, we do the television show for 20 consecutive weeks, but this is a 52-week-a-year operation, especially with our depth chart at NittanyGameWeek.com as we connect businesses that support the show with our viewers. Our goal is to build a team that keeps our hometowns strong. We've had a great time sharing college football content with you. Check out everything from Season 2 on our website, NittanyGameWeek.com, and make sure to consume the web-exclusive content. From a team that's unranked to a Rose Bowl victory, it's been a lot of fun covering it from start to finish. Any final words, fellas?
We'll see you soon.
Next year, a lot of hype, right? One famous coach once said, publicity is like poison. If you don't swallow it, it won't hurt you.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, there you learn. You learn unranked all the way through. You just go out there and perform, get your work done, and see what happens on the field. All right, well, thanks a lot. We say thank you to the behind-the-scenes people. We cannot thank you enough. They should know we appreciate each and every one of them for their dedication and effort. For Jay and Tom, I'm Todd. Thanks so much for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.